Welcome back.
Thank you.
I keep telling people, how's it feel to visit Texas? Have you been to San Antonio and all that small talk? But like, you're here all the time. You are probably the most recurring guest that we have. What is it about this event in this city that just keeps bringing you back so often?
First of all, it's the people. Y'all are just the nicest, most gracious people. And I love everybody who runs this, and it's been so cool to watch it grow over the years. And I'm honored to be back and have a chance to see some fans that have become friends at this point that I've seen over the years, and meet some new friends. So it's been a lot of fun.
And we're also glad you're back. Is that right? You want to talk? I know that there's a ton of fans here for Halloweentown. Have you heard of the movie? There's a few of them out there. But I completely was kind of surprised by the fact that you were in I just remember loving it so much, the comedy film, Bringing Down the House.
Oh, thank you, yeah.
Any Bringing Down the House fans besides me? Queen Latifah is just like a treasure.
Yes.
And I'm so happy that she eventually got a chance to play Ursula in like the Little Mermaid musical version, but when they were trying to cast for Ursula, I'm like, Queen Latifah's the only choice. Queen Latifah's the only choice. But
they heard you.
I love that movie, and I was working in the theater when that came out, and I was just so like taken back by it. Her and Steve Martin, I can't think of two people that were kind of just pulled out of nowhere to make this incredible comedy. What are your fondest memories of working on that film? I have to know.
Well, it was just truly one of the best experiences in my career because I was working with amazing actors that I have admired my whole life. I was a Steve Martin fan forever. And the fact that I got to play his daughter, I just had to constantly be like, no, this is real, this is real. Everybody was so nice on set. You had a whole set full of just experienced, famous, legendary actors. Joan Plowright and Betty White, and Jean Smart, and just all these amazing people. Eugene Levy, hello. And all of them could not have been nicer and more excited to come to work today and every day, and we all just genuinely had a good time and wanted to make each other laugh, and I think that comes across on screen, just in the sense that just everybody was having a good time.
Clearly, seriously, the movie is a good time, and it was at times, outlandish, but in a good way. Some of the things that happened were absurdly funny. My favorite part, spoiler if you guys haven't seen this movie, decades ago, but Queen Latifah, so there's a boy that hurts your feelings in the film.
Yes, it's the boy I sneak out with. Apparently he's not a nice guy.
There's a quick, cut, and then the next scene is Queen Latifah holding him upside down over the side of a building. And I'm like, oh my God, he done messed up. And I'm just like, it was so good. You just mentioned you were surrounded by all these incredible actors, and what are some things that maybe you picked up on? Because I feel like if I'm in that scenario, I'm trying to absorb as much as possible. I love watching people in their element, especially when they're creative. And so I'm kind of making mental notes of how they do things, or how they might prepare. What are some of the things that you kind of took away from that experience that you've been carrying with you all this time?
Just watching Steve Martin do anything is a masterclass.
I love that.
I was just trying to just watch and, like you said, kind of soak in anything. He would play around with ideas with me, or sometimes in certain things, if I was trying to do a little physical comedy, he would be like, oh yeah, the one scene where he comes home and Queen Latifah's turned his house into a party house. Out of control party. I remember he has to pull me out of the kitchen in that scene, and I was trying to do a little physical comedy, and I remember he was like, yeah, stay standing there for just 1 or 2 more seconds and then go with me. Like sometimes he would give me just little, and I'd be like, okay, yeah. But he was just truly just the most genuine person, and I hope there were other things I picked up. I will say though, like to meet a legend like Betty White, who I mean, may she rest in peace, which is the most genuine, lovely woman ever, and I think she was a true testament to how you can be a famous legend and have all the success in the world, but still remain a good human being, and that was her and everybody on that set.
Y'all better clap for all that. I have to hold the microphone that way. I can't clap, but I would be clapping if I could. Yeah, no, I enjoy those type of stories. Like, seriously, we don't understand, and I envy people that have that natural comedic timing. And sure, it took them, years to kind of either develop it or they saw from somebody. They learned from somebody else, I'm sure. But just something like, no, you gotta, what is it? Like, not sell it. You gotta, wait for the right moment.
Yeah, you gotta feel it. You have to feel the moment and feel the timing of it. But I think there is so much humor and genius, really. Steve is such a smart man that there's just so much subtly, I don't know, intrinsic in his comedy that it's just in him. Like he just knows, he can just feel it. Because even he would, when we were working and stuff, would tell jokes here and there, and they were always very like subtle and just kind of gently dropped. They weren't, like that's kind of more how he is in real life. And so we'd be standing there waiting, and then I'd find myself laughing because he just would, say a little something, almost like he couldn't help himself. But it was the best. Again, I was like, oh, this is real life. I'm standing here waiting to do a scene with Steve Martin.
He's my dad.
He's my dad.
It's my dream come true. Does he just carry a banjo everywhere he goes? Does that happen?
He did have one on set, yeah. He liked to play in his trailer when he was on breaks and stuff. I didn't know before then that he played, and then I remember walking by his trailer one day and hearing this amazing banjo solo and realizing he was out there and now since then he's released an album, I think, and shown off his music a little bit more, but he's just, massively talented, obviously.
One of the all-time great comedic
Absolutely.
legends,
Yes.
Steve Martin. Shall we talk about Halloweentown?
Why not? Let's.
Kimberly's here to remind us that Halloween is still cool. I love that line, and that's going to be my mantra forever. It's just, Halloween is cool. That's like the root and core of it all. How did you get involved with that project?
I auditioned for it. I auditioned for it a couple of times. Up at the famed Disney Channel building at the time, we would have auditions up there for different movies and shows they were doing. And I went in once, and then they called me back, and I did the scene from more towards the beginning of the movie, like the scenes trying to convince Gwen to let me go out trick-or-treating, and then I think the scene that I had to tell Dylan, like, guess what Grandma just said? And like we were, rushing out to go find the orange bus. So it was, I still remember like those scenes and even still filming them, which is crazy, but it's just the best memories.
And you also had the pleasure of working with other great vets, late great Debbie Reynolds.
Yes. Talk about another incredible legend. She was everything he would want her to be and more, in the sense that so much of Aggie was a heightened version of who she was and how she liked to have fun and tell jokes and make sure everybody was having a good time. And I didn't realize how important it would be for me until I got older, but she really taught me how just important it is to be a part of the fan community. Like she loved her fans. She would go to groups of fans on the side of the set and walk up to them and go say hi, and she would introduce herself and say, "Hello, I'm Princess Leia's mom," and the whole crowd would get so excited. But she loved performing and making people happy, and she taught me at a young age what a gift that is, and that has always stayed with me.
Oh my God, I love that. also forever April O'Neil.
Yes.
Judith Pope is your mom.
Yes.
What are some memories of playing the daughter of April O'Neil that you still remember?
Oh my gosh, I love Judith. I was just texting with her this weekend. Yeah, we're still close. She came to my wedding recently. We're doing some cons together throughout this last half of the year, and I just adore her. She's another silly goofball, and if anything, I mean, she really always kept set fun and was always kind of there for me in like kind of a motherly way to kind of make sure I was good. But she also she loves to have fun, and so we still love to have fun to this day, and I'm so grateful to the movie too for like connecting us, because it's really awesome.
Every time, well, the thing that I sort of most appreciated, especially now since I've been trying to cover entertainment and not just people in front of the camera, but I love hearing from people behind the camera, and so I have like tremendous respect for the amount of work it takes to make all of the monster suits, the designs, whoever the practical effects director is on that set is like incredible, because they're all so detailed. They move in a very sort of kind of a way that you would expect it to, and there's just so many designs. I mean, that takes a lot of work. And
Oh, it really does,
it's
yeah.
fantastic. Talk to us about just being in that environment. How does it help you? And maybe were you ever frightened by any of the creatures that were in Halloweentown?
I can't say that movie, the creatures in that movie necessarily scared me. And some of the creatures in the Stephen King movie I did were a little scarier. But I loved all of the monsters and creatures and goblins and everything. I loved that the production design leaned so heavily into that idea and just ran with it. And I also love that when we first filmed the movie, was special effects and CGI and all of that. It was not as prominent, obviously, as it is now. But like, even 5-10 years ago, like it just wasn't. We did a lot of the special effects and different like magic tricks, like in real life. We shot it in real life, like Aggie's bag. A lot of times that was manually moved or steered by people off screen, and then we would, like, if Debbie had to pull items out of it, they would set up the shot specifically. So either they'd usually prop it up so it looked like it was the ground, but it was off the ground, and then she could pull stuff out of it that looked like magic. But I feel like these days, a lot of that would be computer generated. And I just love the feel of it in the movies, because it's a little bit more tangible and there. But as far as the creatures, I have to say Halloweentown High, I loved what they did with all the zip-up creatures. I was talking about this yesterday a little bit, but Natalie the Pink Troll was one of my favorites from Halloweentown High. But I love that. All of that was like made to people. Like it wasn't just random costumes or something. Like they made everything to fit everybody's features, so it would feel that much better.
And it's such practical effects. It goes back to what you're just saying right now, is that it kind of reminds us of the time when you had to be creative.
Yes.
You had not a problem, but you had to figure out how to make these shots work. So you had to be creative in what you were doing. So you talking about that, it reminds us of, I want to say a better time, but then I don't think that it sounds correct. But just, I enjoy the movie making part of it. And CG does help when you're trying to like film dragons fighting each other in the sky.
Oh sure, and we flew on a broom in front of a blue screen, and we needed technology for that, absolutely. Like that was a great effect, but yeah.
But when you can try and come up with a practical way of doing it, it's like 99% of the time it's always going to come out better in the long run. In the end. Yeah, I think that's part. We have some audience questions.
Ooh, okay.
And Megan G, where are you at? Right over there.
Hi.
2 questions here. Let's start with the second one. Megan wants to know, would you reprise your role in Halloweentown? I mean, I feel like...
Oh, I absolutely would. And they know we're down for another one. So it's up to Disney at this point to do another one. So if y'all want to tell Disney you'd like to watch another one, I don't think that would hurt anything. But
Who wants another one?
But yeah, are you kidding me? We would all love that.
And I know we just talked about CGI, but even like practical monster makeup and all of that, that has also advanced over the last, decade or two. So Halloweentown with modern technology, still trying to be as practical as possible, would be incredible.
Oh, I agree.
Megan also wants to know, do you have a dream role you'd like to play, either past, present, or on stage?
Great question. I would love to be, I was talking about this a little bit yesterday too. I would love to play a lawyer or a cop. I've gotten close and haven't really done it in anything that anybody's been able to see, so that's, I don't know, I think I loved business law class in college, and I would love to be a lawyer, but I don't think I could fully do it. Like I admire everybody in that profession, so that's, I think that would kind of live out that fantasy for me to play like a, just like a kick butt lawyer or something,
Is that because you had like a show that you watched, like a procedural that you really enjoyed going on?
I can't say I did. I mean, I was on Law and Order SVU a long time ago, and then I ended up just completely getting sucked into the show. So that one I can watch whenever. I know if that's on, like it's always going to be a good episode. But like The Good Wife was one of my absolute like long time like favorite shows. And so so maybe it was inspired from a little bit of what I saw on TV too.
My son, when he was like 9, somehow got obsessed with Law and Order, and I heard this song playing on the TV upstairs one day, and I'm like, what are you watching? Law and Order? Why? But he binged as many seasons as he could, and I didn't understand it, but everybody's different than us.
Yeah.
Jose Ruiz, where are you at, sir? Right there.
Hi.
Jose would like to know, what was your favorite memory from filming Halloweentown?
Well, one of my favorite memories for sure was the broom climb scene that I just mentioned actually, when we were in front of a big blue screen. It was our last day of filming the first Halloweentown, and Debbie and I had not really been in any like one-on-one scenes together yet. So that was our first day of that, and we basically got to sit up on this big tall stool they had in front of the blue screen with the broom glued to it. They would kind of just rock us back and forth and make a camera go all around, and woo, and we're doing all the, oh my god, we're flying things. But we got to sit up there for hours and talk and laugh, and she just was so absolutely wonderful, and that was just such a special way to wrap up that movie, because we didn't know we were gonna do more. People ask me all the time, like, oh, was there a plan to do a whole movie series? Like, no, that is due in large part to all of you guys who've shown it so much love over the years. We were just supposed to do one Halloweentown, and that was it. But because the fans have been so amazing, we got to do more. So that is just, I love getting a chance to say thank you whenever I can, because you guys have always been a large part of that. And last year was the 25th anniversary of Halloweentown. So
yeah,
it's such an honor to still be here talking about it. So thank you guys.
No name on this one, but if you could have a reunion sequel, what would you want to happen for Marnie?
I think Marnie could either be running for mayor, or maybe the mayor of Halloweentown. I feel like she would want to be in some sort of position to keep moving Halloweentown forward. She always loved, she just loved trying to come up with different ideas and have the mortals and the creatures from Halloweentown all meet, and so I feel like she would still be in some position of kind of trying to bring new ideas into Halloweentown, and then maybe also helping bring up the next generation of witches and their training or something. But
in my head, I'm trying to check all your boxes. So Marnie now is a lawyer.
Ooh, okay.
Right?
I like where you're going with this.
Or, even better, you could be a detective, and then the mayor of Halloweentown was missing.
Ooh.
And they need you to investigate it.
My God, we're writing it right now. This is great. Yeah.
Who can we call about this story?
Tag Disney.
But yeah, seriously, tell me that. Can you share another memory about Debbie Reynolds and working with her?
I'm trying to think of another. She was so funny. She loved to talk about her life and her career, and not only to make you laugh, but she also loved just telling the stories to hopefully share wisdom or anything. Like she wanted everybody around her to shine as brightly as she could. She would be on set and they would be like, oh, we need this ladder moved. Can somebody come in? And she'd go and try to move it. And they'd be like, no, Miss Reynolds, don't touch the ladder. But she was a team player like that. You know, she genuinely loved what she did. Let's see, this isn't totally like a memory of her, totally, but she gave me the idea, I think it was in between the second and third Halloweentown. She told me that she trick-or-treated, she gave out candy on Halloween in her Aggie costume to people trick-or-treating, which I thought was such a great idea. I started doing it because I have Marnie's purple cloak and hat from the second movie. Debbie was very nice enough to kind of tell the producer, maybe she should, this was made literally to her measurements, maybe she should just take it home. So I tried that for a couple of years and gave out candy on Halloween to trick-or-treaters in my Marnie outfit, and loved surprising people. But then some people would come up, you know, throughout the rest of the year, knocking on the door asking if Marnie was home, so we kind of had to calm that down. But that was one of the many inspirations that, you know, she gave me over the years.
Oh my God, I love that so much. It's amazing. Is there anything else that you thought about keeping or that you have kept from any of those projects?
Yeah, I have. The producers were nice enough to give me a copy of the Halloweentown book when we filmed or finished the first one. So I have that in a very sealed bag, and I try to I'm like scared to take it out of the bag sometimes because I don't want it to like disintegrate or something. But I have the bat from Calabar's office in the first one, his assistant that pops out on his table. It's like, there's somebody here to see you, boss. Disney gave me that puppet. And in Marnie's outfit, I have like a watch Marnie wore for a little while. Oh, and I have the little broom that she carried around in her pocket in the second Halloweentown. I had the one we used for rehearsals, so it's not like as good looking as the hero one, we call it for camera, but I do have that too. So I have tried to keep some little pieces of Marnie wherever I can.
I feel like you got way more stuff from Disney than most actors do.
Well, I think it was after we finished filming that they gave me that bat. So yeah, it does, you know, sometimes it works a little bit differently when you're on set, yeah.
Don't share that with any of the other like Marvel folks or like Star Wars folks. They get absolutely nothing, and all they talk about is how they try to steal things all the time.
I would too if I was a Marvel actor, are you kidding me?
I think so, yeah, I think so. Welcome back. You are always welcome, and you're so great with the fans.
Thank you.
And we're so glad that you returned again, that you love our little city here. You've been here so many times. Is there like some parts of San Antonio that you're like really familiar with, or that you always try and visit, like a restaurant or something that you come to love now?
I don't. Sometimes I only come in for a couple of days, and they're so busy that like I don't get a ton of time to walk around. But I have been on the Riverwalk. I think it was probably the last time I was here actually. And ate there, walked along it. I fell in love with that completely. I just love that. So that's probably the biggest like more touristy thing I've done here as far as, you know, see the stuff in town. But I did love that.
Well, we love hearing those stories. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Kimberly J. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Thank you.